Alright, so welcome to part 3 of the video series. Now in part 1, we went over top-down mixing. Part 2, we did some EQing. And now for part 3, we are going to do some compression. So if you haven't watched those first 2 videos, please go back and watch those and then, catch up with me on this one. Alright, so the 2 plugins we're going to take a look at today is the Comp76 and the Comp G. Alright, so there's 4 instruments that I want to highlight today, and that is the drums, bass, guitar, and then there's a sax. Those are the instruments that I felt like needed to sit a little more forward in the mix, and the Comp G and the Comp76 did a great job of doing that. Alright, so the reason I chose the Comp G is because it has a high pass filter, so I can let that kick breathe a little more. And then you can also use it in parallel. Now what I wanted to do with the drums is just add a little more punch, and then I wanted to bring them forward a little bit, so the Comp G was really great for that. Now to go over some of my settings, I have a medium attack. I'm doing about an 8:1 ratio, and I have a fast release. And as I said before, I'm using this in parallel. Alright, for the bass, I decided to go with the Comp76. And I chose this one because I just like the way it sounds more so than the Comp G on the bass. Now my settings for this is I'm doing an 8:1 ratio as well. And then I'm also doing a fast attack and then a slower release. And I'm using this in parallel as well. Now the reason I'm deciding to show you the drums and the bass together is because I feel like it makes a better comparison. So when I pull the compressors from the bass and the drums, then I feel you can hear it a little better when you hear the 2 together, and you can hear exactly what it's doing. Please listen to these examples from all the videos with some nice studio headphones or some monitors, because if you're listening on your cell phone, then you probably won't hear the difference. Alright, so let's get into it. I'm going to do a before and then after. Alright, so now we have the guitar and the sax, and for the guitar I chose the Comp G. I have a medium attack, fast release, and I'm getting about 4 dB of gain reduction. Now let's switch on over to the sax. And for the sax I have a 4:1 ratio, probably getting about 4 to 5 dB of gain reduction. I have a medium attack and then a slower release for the sax. Alright, so now let's do a before and after with the compressors bypassed on both the guitar and the sax, and then I'm going to engage it. So now we're going to take a listen to the whole mix. I'm going to start with the compressors engaged, and then I'm going to bypass it. Now again, the compression is only on the drums, bass, and the guitar and the sax. What I want you to listen for is how when I take the compressors away, the instruments kind of sit back. And then when I add the compression, then it kind of brings it forward and gives it a nice lift. Alright, check it out. Alright, so that wraps up today's video, and we did some compression today, and this is part 3. So please check out the other 2 videos if you haven't already. Again, I am Marcus with Machine City Audio, here on behalf of Overloud. Thanks for watching. Peace, and until next time.